Hello, I'm Diane. Welcome to my channel, Diane in Stitches. This channel's all about sewing, what fabrics, patterns, what I've made, what I'm going to make, and anything sewing related. So I do hope you enjoy the content, and I hope you can pick up some hints and tips along the way. So this week, I'll start with what I'm wearing. This is the Pattern Emporium Keep It Simple t-shirt. And I think after a couple of washes, I did say when I first made it, I think I've made a size too small. I should have sized up. Next one, I was going to do my little extension of the armhole, but I think it's definitely needing a size up. So I think that's what I'll do next time. I've got some cotton lycra in a bit of a strange colour that didn't quite come the colour I thought it was going to be. So I'll probably have a go with that and just see what it'll do for around the house. See what that looks like. So, as you may remember, last week I had my Sombrio Polo shirt for Keith, Crisis. I just took my time with it all week because it really wasn't doing my brain any good. But I finished it. I tried to get it done and get it over with, basically. So I did raise that little point on the bottom of the placket, and I pulled it up and re-sewed it, and it's better. It's still not perfect, but it's better. So I carried on and got it all done, got the side seams sewn up. And then a couple of days ago, I thought, just get these buttonholes and buttons on now. So I got the buttonhole foot on the machine, and I thought it was very bulky around the top and the bottom of the placket. And I really thought this was not a good recipe for success. And sure enough, I got the placket under the buttonhole foot. I did a test buttonhole fine on some scrap fabric, but the buttonhole foot was at an angle and back, and it just, I tried it, and it was just sewing on the spot. There was not going to happen. So I decided to go put them. I used my Prim Creative Vario tool and put plastic snaps in, basically, and that wasn't the success. Easy to do either. With the plastic snaps, there's like a disc and then a point sticking up, and that point, when I did it on my Butano shirt, I put snaps on the front of that, like when I made that with a cotton poplin. And you just press the fabric onto the point and it goes through, not this PK cotton. So I had to get my awl out and poke a hole, because the smallest tool that they have in the Prim set for making holes would be too big. It makes more of a bigger hole for like rivets and things like that. So I knew that would be too big. So I just had to get the awl and just and the awl, I had difficulty getting the awl through the fabric, to be honest. I got 2 layers of fabric, was it 3? 2 layers, and interfacing. Just managed to get the poppers on. I'll put some pictures and a little bit of a video. I've just finished it yesterday, actually. I got the cover stitch out and did the hems, which thankfully went to plan. But anyway, Keith was just out in the garden doing some snipping and things, so I thought I'll go out and grab him while he's got it on. It's supposed to be a sleep shirt, but he's put it on today to see how warm or otherwise it feels out in the wild. So I finally got it done and out of the way. I might try it again with a different fabric, or I might go back to the original polo shirt that I had, which was the Oliver Polo by Sinclair Patterns, which has a different method of the placket. The placket's sort of one piece, and it goes behind the front, so your front comes over, and it's sort of, it looks like the fabric meets in the middle. It isn't a separate placket on the outside, the placket's on the inside, and then on the front of the underside of the fastenings. Anyway, so that was that quandary over palaver. The other thing I've managed to do is remember the couple of I don't know how many couple of weeks ago I ordered that sheep felt from the chimney sheep to replace my ironing board cover. I have done that, and just to update on that one, it is a lovely surface to iron on, and it does seem to make the ironing better for some reason. I don't know, because I've had these things before that say it irons the reverse for you, and it's never done that because of the reflective thing on it. I don't know, but it's never worked. But it does actually seem a nice ironing surface. And I did replace the small one. I ordered a separate metre of fabric apart from the actual ironing board shaped piece, which I just had to cut to size. And I did that one, but it makes that cover look a bit dirty, but it's the dark grey felt padding underneath it. So I think I'm going to make another cover for that. It'll be okay, but it just looks a bit dirty. But so I haven't used that one yet on the table here, so we'll see how that goes. Yes, the other thing that's been happening is I've been looking for a dress pattern and a pattern for this caftan thing, that huge tulip fabric that I've got. The dress pattern, I know I'm a little bit ahead of myself probably, but November's not that far away, where we go for Keith's university reunion overnight stay at a hotel party but I don't want to be last minute. The first year we went, I was very last minute, scrabbling to find fabric and get a dress done. So I thought I'd just get ahead of myself a little bit, and then I can take my time and get the dress ready. So I did order the Serrata dress from Itch to Stitch. In fact, the patterns have just arrived this morning. I've just put them in the envelope. I ordered some more patterns actually. I'll just show my pattern haul. That's just arrived this morning. So the Serrata dress was this new release. So it's either sleeveless or a ruffle or a little flutter sleeve, and then the elastic casing around the waist, and then either a full skirt or a skirt with a tier at the bottom. I probably won't do the tier at the bottom. I don't know. I might just go outside my comfort zone and give it a go. I also ordered it's the Pro Tier dress by Megan Nielsen, which is a dress top and a skirt, so you can sort of mix and match it. Now, this has never been on my radar. I actually saw on Sweet Pea Sewing, Retired and Restyled, this lady called Caroline, and she'd bought the pattern, and apparently there are tons of hacks that you can do to make it. You can do different necklines, add things, take different, and there's a page on the blog page on the Megan Nielsen site where it tells you how to do, just gives you suggestions on it. They're not separate pattern pieces. It just tells you how to go about changing certain aspects of it to just make totally different garments. So I thought that was quite handy. And I quite like the idea of the square neckline. I quite fancy having a go at that. So that was something extra that I just jumped on and thought I'll get that. So that was another choice. Because we've also been invited to a wedding evening do in October, end of October. So any of these would probably do for that and the university reunion. I also ordered one or two other little bits and bobs. Itch to Stitch also had an offer on this Cheminus top, which is a woven a woven pattern. And I quite liked that. Karina Lifting Pins and Needles did a video on it, and I thought, yes, I quite like that. It's a placket. I'm a glutton for punishment. But I just thought that was quite a nice, simple top to for the summer. I might get one made before the summer ends, but who knows. But also, while I was on the Megan Nielsen site, I came across, well, I've heard of it, it's been going around, this coat. It's like, you can make a padded quilted coat, the Hovia coat. And I thought, well, that might be a useful little garment to just put on. But also, you can make a longer version, and it can be lined. There's no fastenings in the front, but you can make sort of just a belt, put a belt around it. And I did half wonder whether, I keep going back to my green wool fabric that I've had for 2 years nearly now, that I might be able to make that in the green fabric. I wasn't entirely convinced with the Alex coat that I'd made earlier this year, with that bright checked thing with the Revere collars. I don't know, I might still go, because it did fit nice, that, but I don't know whether it's just the pattern that was putting me off making another one, I don't know. But I thought, well, this one might be a bit simpler, and it's a bit more casual. It's got sort of dropped shoulders, and I don't know, so it's a possibility, but I quite like the idea of that. And also, what I was looking at, I remembered I'd got a pattern that I'd bought last year sometime. That again, it's a choice for either the wedding reception or the university hotel do. I bought this pattern, and I actually bought an IKEA duvet cover to make it in, but I think actually that might be a bit too thick. I don't know, I'm gonna have to relook at that. And it's this one, this Sewing Therapy tie dress, and I'd seen a few of that. It's just simple enough for me. I'd seen a few examples of this, and people had said they had to size down. It's quite roomy, so you can make a couple of sizes smaller, and you can tie the belt any which way. There's one ties at the front and one at the back, or you can tie them at the sides, or you can do them unevenly tied. There's various ways. The V-neck, it's reverse. It's like reversible in that you can put the V at the back and the round at the front, or vice versa. And either the long sleeves or the short sleeve. The long sleeve are sort of gathered into a band. So that is a possibility. And I got that out the other day, and I remembered there was a sew along video by Sewing Therapy, and she had another video on which mentioned a beach cover up. So I've had a quick look at that, and it actually, because I'd had some mention about after last week, somebody said, look at Pattern Emporium, I've got some caftan patterns, and I had looked at those, and I went back and had another look, and I thought, yes, one of those could be okay. But I couldn't remember if there was a seam down the middle or whatever. Anyway, so when I had a look at this beach cover-up video, I thought that would be ideal. Don't need a pattern. She gives you, I'll put a little picture up, she gives you at the end measurements, and it's basically just rectangles. But the front is in two halves, but I don't see why I can't just cut that in on the fold, because she joins it part way through, and you can leave a slit down the middle. But it would go over my head. It's got a V like this probably, or even lower, and then just under the bust you attach a tie, but you attach it across the middle, and then you can wrap that right round the back and tie it. And there's a similar one at the back, and you can bring that round the front and tie it. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do with my tulip. So my tulip fabric is sorted, but I think that's for way on, for next year, probably, if we go on holiday somewhere warm. But anyway, while I was looking on Sewing Therapy website, I noticed a free pattern for one of these, this hanbok vest. Now, if some of you watch the Sewing Bee, Great British Sewing Bee, they had Korean week, was it last week, week before, and they made one of these similar designs, but with sleeves on. But it was a free pattern, so I thought that I might sort of get some quilted fabric or make that out of a fleece or something like that. But I've got it there anyway now, so that's fine. So the only other dress that I was thinking of for the do's I'm going to is this one that I've had a few months now. This is the Stylark Porter dress and top. I was going to make the top to start with, and with the ties, this fad that's going around. I don't normally follow fads, but I quite liked the front tie front, so I just thought I'd make a top sleeveless or with the short sleeves. But I just quite liked that pattern. So that's all my patterns of views of what patterns I've already got. So I already had the tie dress and the porter dress, and then so I've just got the 5 new patterns, 2 dresses, a top, a coat, jacket, and the hanbok vest. So that should keep me amused for a while. But the video of the caftan, she's done the video. It's something called CBC Life, but she is the Sarah of Sewing Therapy that's done that video. And it does actually look very similar to the tie dress, but the tie dress does have seams here, so that wouldn't sort of work for the cover up option. So yes, it's I'm getting a bit more organised on moving forward now. I had a bit of a disaster last week for some reason. I don't know if you remember the other t-shirt, V-neck t-shirt I made, the first one, which was the classic tee by Love Notions. I ended up, I don't know how I did it, and I've got splashes of oil down the front, and I've tried to get it. I was so annoyed. I don't know whether it was from eating dinner, and we have salad with salad oils and things on, and as I've eaten, it's drip. I don't know, but it's like it was I'll put a picture up. It's just, and I've tried with some stain remover. It's come out a little bit. I might need to have another go at it, but I'm so annoyed because I quite like it. It was a nice fit. That it is a nice fit, that t-shirt. I mean, I'll still wear it. It'll probably only get worn around the house as I normally do with t-shirts, but anyway, that was another crisis this week amongst other things. So I've got Keith's. I've put that there ready to overlock. This is the other colorway of the from the shirt, the navy shirt I made. This is the darker one. What's it called? Urban Sketcher or something. So that's ready to overlock the edges and then wash. But my next make, I was trying to just have something that I could get on with straight away. Oh, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. And I've got some fabric that I've had for a while, and I was going through patterns thinking what could I make with it. It's a fabric I bought from the shop in town that they still sell. It's an African goods shop, and they had a lot of fabric a couple of years ago. They seem to be diminishing the stock or not having as much choice, but this is the one. Excuse me. This is the one I bought. I think I might have shown it you before, and it's a little bit, another one a bit way out and out of my comfort zone. But it's this yellow with the red swirls on it. So it's a guaranteed block print wax fabric. They don't feel waxy. I mean, this has been washed. I know it's washed and done because the ends are overlocked. So that's quite bright and cheery. So I'm going to. It's only 115 centimeters wide, but I've got 2.5 meters, and it will be. I thought I'd just do something different. So I've gone onto my commercial patterns, and I've got this Simplicity 8891, and this was on a sewing magazine. In with a sewing magazine that I bought. I don't buy them very often because they're so expensive. But this was in, what was it? Sew magazine. So you've got a dress with, let me show you the line drawings, that might be easier. You've got a dress with a band around the bottom to make it longer. A shorter dress, which I think is the one here that she's just put over like a topper and left open. And then a short top with a tie, and then they've also got a trousers and shorts with they've got little slits at the bottom, and I think there's an invisible zip on the side seam. There's an invisible zip. I quite like the shorts actually. I might see what I've got that I can make with the shorts. So that is going to be this short top. So the back is similar. It's just got these two. They call them tucks. I don't think I suppose it's a similar effect of a dart, and then it's got a cuff on the end of the sleeve. No collar. I think it's just facing. So that is going to be that. See me coming a mile off with that one. Now, regarding this fabric, strangely, on Instagram there's a lady called Lena King, and I started following her a few weeks ago because she was partnership with Juliet, who was on the Sewing Bee a few years ago. I think, in fact, she won it in the end, 4 or 5 years ago, I think. And she'd partnered with Juliet to do Ankara Appreciation Week. And I posted up a picture of I made Keith a waistcoat when we went into the shop, and I bought some fabric. He picked up this remnant, which he said he liked, and I made a waistcoat for the I think first or second university reunion dues we went on, and I made him this waistcoat. And she posted the other day that she was destashing some of her fabrics, and I thought, I'm going to see what she's got to order, because, as I said, the shop in town has cut down. I've not seen anything I've liked when I went in, but I've not been in for a while now. But trouble is, when you walk past, we go into town early, and I don't think they open till about 10:30. So anyway, she got these fabrics, and a fabric came up. This one came up, but it's got a sort of a turquoisey, cobalty, a bluish background. But it's still, I think the swirls are still red. It's just like a sort of like a broken line. It's not a continuous line with a blue background. So I thought, right, I'm having that. And I showed Keith because I thought he might want another flash design. So he did like one of the fabrics, and then there was another one that I liked. So I've ordered 3 fabrics from her, which should be on the way. She said she would post them yesterday, but she was confused because she said I didn't expect people to order multiple amounts. So I've got those on the way. So I don't know whether they'll come. So I'll probably be showing those next week, hopefully, if they come this coming week. So more fabrics coming in. What can I say? But I do like, and I think they're already washed, so I can just get on and do something with those. I think there's I think there's I think because you buy these in yards, that it's produced in yards over there or in wherever they're made. I can't remember now, but I think it was 3 yards, £15 each piece. So I've got those on the way. I've got my patterns all ready to get this. I've got the pattern tissue, separate pieces cut out. That just needs ironing so that there's no creases in them. I've managed to. I don't know if the patterns will go back. They never go back in these envelopes, like when you've got managed to get the unused pieces back in. But when I've got those and whatever, I am going to trace it. Whether it'll all go back in the pattern envelope in one piece, I don't know. So I think that's all for this week. So hope you like. Do leave a comment. Hope you like what I've been talking about this week. Do leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the patterns and my fabric. And do give the video a thumbs up if you've liked it. So do leave a comment. And if you haven't yet subscribed, it would be lovely if you could do that. It doesn't cost you anything, and it does help the channel to reach other people looking for sewing related content. So with that, I'll just say have a lovely weekend and a lovely next week. Hope you get lots of sewing done, and I'll see you in the next video. So bye for now.